Hello, welcome back to Steve's Corner. The death of the EV. I don't know if y'all have seen that about that fellow that traveling across country or whatever in his pickup, and it run out of juice, so he just left it. And that thing, I think they said that thing was like $50,000 or $60,000 vehicle. You know, and I seen on TV where Ford had trouble because they went all in on electric vehicles, and they haven't been a seller for them. Let's put it that way. It's not enough to change them into an electric vehicle company. How's that? They're losing their butt on us. What they're doing. They spent so much money ramping up to get into it, and it just ain't turned out like they had hoped. And I don't know whether I should be sad or happy. You know. I'd love to have one. I really would. Especially one of them that, would drive itself. Man, I'd love to have one of them things. But I'm happy it's not going to come to fruition for a while anyways. Because they just don't have the technology. You don't have the infrastructure for the charging stations. You can't make enough electricity for it, And it's so expensive. And that's what gets me, They made it. They made it. Well, I originally heard they were going to make no more gas-powered vehicles sold in 2035. But I heard last night that they wanted 80% of. Was it 80% of all new vehicles sold in 2035 would be going to be electric? And that's the thing. They're forcing it upon you. They're not letting it naturally happen. Just like when you went from the horse and buggy to the automobile. That naturally took place. It become more efficient. It become better for you. It helped you. This here doesn't help anybody. It's supposedly it helps you. Heck, I don't know what they call it anymore. I forgot. I was going to say economy, but not the economy. It's supposed to help the global warming stuff, But I have my doubts on that. But they force this stuff upon you like that. Mama wants to get she's got a phone now with a daggone internet. It runs off the internet. So when the internet goes out, she has no phone. She has no internet. The power goes out. She has no phone, no internet, no power. She wants to get a regular wired phone that's not run off the internet. They don't offer that no more. The people that still have one like us, what they're doing is going to let you age out. When you decide to go away from it, then there's no longer access to it. Just same as them light bulbs. They forced them fluorescent bulbs and LED bulbs and stuff on you. Because they quit making the other ones. It's the only option you got. It's certain. I think it's the lower ranges that you have options now. 25 watt and appliance light bulbs and stuff. But the rest of them, you don't have an option on anymore. They're not allowing it to happen naturally. And for me, them daggone fluorescents and LED bulbs, they're not near as good as the incandescent ones, I don't think. They don't last as long for us, and they're more expensive. I think everybody up there in D.C. that makes these laws like this, it ought to be mandatory for them to do it for 5 years before they make it a law, so they can see how it's going to affect the average person. Now, that's the problem with them electric vehicles. They're so expensive. I'd love to have one, but until they get down into a range where I can afford one, or that they're easy to own as far as finding charging stations. We got one charging station a few miles up the road here. That's the only one I know of around here. it's just not a viable option when I got a perfectly good gas vehicle there. And there's 3 gas stations right around the corner here. Got what I got? Heck no, I got 3 right down there, and I got 1 right up here, so I got 4. You know, the ease of access to that stuff is tremendous. It outweighs an electric vehicle for me. You know, but like I said, I mean, I think anybody that makes a law like that, see, they up there and they got plenty of money, and they ain't concerned with that kind of stuff. They ought to cut their pay down to, you know, whatever the average pay is in the country, and let them try to live the way they forcing this stuff down our throats. They do that for a couple of years before they daggone make it law for everybody else, what they ought to do. A working man just can't afford to live like they're throwing down our throats right now. Just can't. We got too much other stuff. It's taking our money. Just living is daggone expensive. You know, keeping a roof over your head and your belly full. I mean, that takes about all anybody can do anymore. And with them throwing that extra stuff on you like that, them light bulbs, the telephone, you know, I mean, the daggone electric vehicles, it's just ridiculous. It's getting to be where an average person can't make it anymore in the country. It just is. I can't imagine another 15 years of butter. And then they want to make your they're going to end up going digital on your cash. I didn't believe that, but everywhere I go now, I mean, they don't take your cash. You know, we went to an auction here about a month ago, and that was at an auction. You know, they didn't take no. Well, it wasn't an auction. It was an estate sale, is what it was. But they wouldn't take no cash. You had to have a card. You know, it's getting to be that way more and more places anymore. And they wanted to take that daggone, make it digital like that, because they can shut you down and take it anytime they need to, or they want to. You doing wrong, you go against the party line. Hey man, that's all right. We just emptied your bank account. You know, that's the scary part of it. How's that? But yeah, I'd love to have one of them EVs, but I just don't see it happening in my lifetime. It's going to take a long time for it to get the infrastructure in place. The battery technology builds up, you know, and then it's going to have to happen naturally. Well, I don't know. That's the best way for it to happen. I don't know. Well, y'all take care. I'm going to finish my glass of tea here. Y'all enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk to y'all later.